Hello folks, this is Mayuresh. So why I switched from Windows to Linux? So I had been using Windows OS for my desktop and laptop PCs since the late 90s all the way up to the early 2010s. And I had never seriously considered Linux actually till then. But once in 2010s, early 2010s, I decided to try out Linux OS for my laptop due to some reasons, and tried installing Linux Mint Cinnamon version, and it was really amazing. So it had all the functionalities and features of Windows as well as MS Office, and it was fully compatible. All my previous MS Office files worked perfectly, seamlessly and smoothly on LibreOffice. So it was very seamless transition and great compatibility. And since then, I have never looked back actually. So I have been using Linux Mint since then continuously till now. That is almost a decade. And I never actually missed Windows or MS Office or Mac. Never needed those for any reasons whatsoever. I have been doing a lot of documentation in docx, xlsx and pptx files, and converting between pdf and all these file formats, etc. So everything has worked perfectly and smoothly. So yeah, so that's actually a wonderful thing. So why I use Linux? What are the advantages? So Linux OS can be installed on any laptop, desktop or server machine, irrespective of the hardware platform or the firmware or the processor chipset family, whether it is AMD family, Intel family, etc. So Linux OS is not bound to any proprietary hardware platform, etc. So it is compatible with everything. So that's another great advantage. As I said, Linux already includes LibreOffice. It comes by default with the LibreOffice software, which is exactly the equivalent and fully compatible with the MS Office, including everything: MS Word, MS Excel, MS PowerPoint, and even other parts of MS Office. And all the file formats are completely compatible. So next thing is that it is free. That's one of the most important things, is that Linux OS and LibreOffice all are completely free. You can download any flavor or version of these softwares anytime you want from the internet. It's always available there. So you don't need to pay any license fees, you don't need to purchase any expensive softwares, etc. So that's another very big advantage. No need to renew the licenses and all those things. And plus, over the last decade, Linux has become extremely user friendly. Its GUI has got enhanced and improved a lot since its early days. I know it was not that great in the early 2000s or late 90s and all. So at that time, it was not that user friendly. It was not that smooth. It was not that feature rich. But yeah, since the last a decade or so, it has become very user friendly, very convenient, very good, and very powerful, just like Windows or Mac. And in many aspects, I think it is even better than Windows or Mac. That's my personal opinion. What are the other advantages of Linux besides these? So Linux is considered to be more stable, it's more secure, it is also faster, high performance, and consumes lesser resources. Uh, so, so since it is considered to be very secure and stable and almost unhackable, not almost unhackable, but it is generally difficult to hack. So you don't need to generally buy any expensive antivirus softwares or any other such kind of things, because as you know, the antivirus softwares, you have to renew it every year, and it's not that cheap. It is there is a considerable expense in that. So all those things you are saving when you use Linux, because on Linux you don't need to install any antivirus softwares or any security softwares, etc. I have never needed one, and it works great. And since you don't need any antivirus software, you save a lot of time in configuring and updating the antivirus, renewing it every year, etc. Also, you don't need to schedule the regular file system scans and such kind of things, because these scans and other things, it consumes a considerable amount of system resources, and thus during the scanning process, or whenever it is doing something in the background, it will keep on consuming the CPU, the memory, the hard disk, and thus lower the available performance. So the effective available resources and the performance is less. So all these issues are not there when you use the Linux OS. And of course, Linux is excellent for programming, any kind of scripting, automation, etc. Because you can do the shell scripting to automate small things. You can even install any third-party softwares anytime you want. You can uninstall, run them, etc. So you are not bound to any proprietary softwares. And yeah, for those who are into open source programming and all, for them the Linux is really good. So they can use it as a normal laptop OS also, and use the same laptop for some hobby programming or professional programming or studying, learning, practicing, etc. So even students, actually, they can use it. So it is because students are budget sensitive, and so for college assignments, programming, etc., or even school students, college students, school students, post PG students, they can use this. It is free, and you can do any kind of programming, and everything is free of cost. So it is great that way. Now, which flavor? I think from user friendliness and from simplicity and installation ease point of view, I think the Linux with Cinnamon environment or GUI is the best in as far as my personal experience is concerned. Linux Mint is suitable for almost all the scenarios, whether it is like business purpose or personal use, for students, as I said, or any kind of professionals. Even if you are an accounting professional or finance professional or some animation artist or some other consultant or anything, you can use it. It will be very suitable for you. And of course, for, as I said, for high-end programmers, it is the most suitable. So go ahead with this. That's you don't have to do a lot of research and R&D. So just for initial purpose, you can just go ahead with the Linux Mint with Cinnamon GUI. It can be easily installed in 10-15 minutes. It's very simple and straightforward. And in addition to the OS, as I said, LibreOffice also comes with the OS. And in addition to that, you can always install any third-party software, open source software, etc., free anytime you want. And only one exception is that for cyber security professionals or hackers, Kali Linux flavor is preferred, because it has a lot of special purpose software, apps and utilities for this purpose. So it comes with tons of all these goodies inbuilt with the OS itself. And the OS itself is more optimized for using all these things, at the kernel level and all, because you need to, and you need to do the network analysis, some very high-end kind of brute force attacks, etc. So for that, it is more optimized at the kernel level. So only for those, I think, cyber security people and all, Kali Linux is the most preferred flavor. Otherwise, for all other people, Linux Mint with Cinnamon is the best option. So hope you go ahead and install the Linux and find it useful and very powerful, and hope you liked this video and found it very informative. So wish you all the best for your Linux installation, and do share your feedback, comments, etc., how your experience was, and did you face any issues, and what differences did you observe as compared to other OSs, and which flavor you decided to install. So I will stop here for the time being. Thank you so much for the watching this video, for your time and efforts. So have a nice day. Bye bye.